Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be installing a 20-inch LED light bar by LASFIT. They sent me the bar along with these mounting brackets for this bull bar and a wiring harness. So let's go check it out.
A big thank you to LASFIT for providing the products for this video. This installation comprises of 3 different products. You've got LASFIT's 20-inch LED light bar, their Universal Mounting Kit for a bull bar up to 2 inches in diameter, and the wiring harness. I've added links to all of these products in the description below. It's a substantial wiring harness, but we're not going to use it all when hooking up to the auxiliary switches. And the light bar has 2 mounting bracket options included in the kit, side and bottom mount. And for reference, here are the part numbers of the 3 different pieces I'm installing. This is the 2-inch diameter bull bar that I'm mounting to. First I release the 2 halves of the bull bar mounting bracket. Then I attach them to the bull bar. At this point there's no need to fully tighten them down, as you're going to want to adjust them later on. And do the same with the second one. Here I chose to use the side mount for the light bar. I decided to mount the bracket curving upwards. Use the included washer, bolt and nut on the underside. I used a 14mm socket to tighten it down. Using the same style, the bottom mount on the left hand side, just rotate it round, add the washer, the bolt and the nut, and tighten them down. Next I picked up the light bar and fed the connector through the right hand side of the modular bumper, and just pulled it out through the front for now. Then I mounted the light bar in place. Now you can start on tightening the mounting brackets and setting them to the angle that you want them to be. So something I noticed when I put the light bar in the first location was that I didn't have a lot of articulation. This meant I couldn't adjust the angle very well. So I moved the light bar 1 space back, and that gave me a whole range of movement. With the light bar in a good position, I tightened down the bolts. So now it's time to work on the wiring. We're going to run the wiring harness down through this hole right here. Connector end first and grab it at the bottom. Just feed the connector and the wire down through that hole. You'll see it comes straight through and out the bottom. Makes for a nice and easy quick connection. Connect the light bar and the wiring harness together. I like to cover any exposed wires in electrical tape. You need to work out which auxiliary wire you want to connect to. Navigate to Features and then Owner's Manual, select Instrument Panel and Interior, and then scroll down to Auxiliary Switches, and then select Identify Auxiliary Switch Wiring. This brings up a table with the auxiliary switch wiring colors and the fuse rating. I'm using auxiliary switch 3, which is the violet and green wire. Following down the wiring harness from where we inserted it in the hole, follow it all the way back, and here you've got a relay, a fuse, and a switch. But we don't actually need any of these. So we're going to take this wire and cut it right around here. And then I'll connect it to the violet and green auxiliary wire back here. So I'm just going to measure how much wire I need. And I'll mark it with a Sharpie just to make sure I cut it in the right place. So now I'm just cutting off everything I don't need. Just pull back the sheathing and then strip the two wires. Just feeding the wiring harness down the driver's side of the vehicle and up to the auxiliary switch wire location. So here I'm going to connect the red wire to the green and violet wire, and then ground the black wire right here. Here I'm just adding some heat shrink tubing. And adding a ring connector to the ground wire. And once you've crimped it down, it's time to reduce the heat shrink tubing. And now with a butt connector, I'm connecting the red wire to the green and violet wire. And don't forget your heat shrink tubing. Using an 8mm socket, remove this grounding bolt. Insert your ground wire and then tighten it back down. Here I'm just zip tying my excess cable out of the way. Now comes the moment of truth. The light bar is made up of OSRAM LEDs. It's rated at 6020 lumens and has a factory matching color temperature of 6000 K. The light bar is waterproof with an IP67 rating and offers great heat dissipation as well. I really love the look of this light bar on the front of the Bronco. It fits discreetly using these mounting brackets in the space below the bull bar. And those brackets are very adjustable to get the light bar exactly where you want it. And here's some video of what the light bar looks like at night all lit up. Here you can see the light bar completely lights up those trees in front of us.
As you can see, it's pretty easy to install, especially if you've got the auxiliary switches already. The light bar has a bespoke plug on it already, so it's a quick disconnect, plug the harness into it, and then you run the wiring up to the auxiliary switch wiring at the front of the Bronco. Now, just run the red wire into whichever switch you want to use. Black wire, just ground it, and you're good to go. As you can see in the video, the light bar gives out a great amount of light, especially for just being 20 inches wide. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.